Hello everyone and welcome back to Geek Out. It's been a short while, but we are back with what are we talking about this week for the month of July. It was a big month, a lot of stuff happened. We've got a lot of stuff to talk about. As usual, we're not going to get to everything, so if there is anything else that we miss, be sure to let us know that we missed it and that you liked it, and we'll give you a digital thumbs up. Let's roll the old D4 to see who's going to start us off.
Gavin wants the V4. 2.
Max
This happens every
is
time.
starting us off.
Then why even roll it?
I don't know! In hopes it changes. Well, I'll start us off. Okay. I have another TV show.
Max is our resident TV.
And it's on Hulu again. This one's sci-fi, though.
What is it?
And it's an adventure. It's called Final Space.
Final Space.
It's written and created by the guy who makes these shirts and is a vlogger, Olin Rogers. And
Wait, he's making a show?
yeah, he's been making a show. So I'm talking about season 2 because season 1 premiered last year. But season 2 of Final Space has been coming out, and it's just as good, if not better, because they're on Adult Swim, and so they can drop some swear words now.
Right on.
What were
And
they
just be
on
very
before?
McCorver. It was on TBS because it's produced through the Conan production team.
Okay.
So they have that, but a lot of people compare it to Rick and Morty light. So if you're not a huge fan of the Rick and Morty fan base, this is a great one to jump into.
All right.
As well as if you like Rick and Morty, it works.
So is it animated?
Yes,
Okay.
you follow the adventures of
That's probably better
Gary.
because live action sci-fi is
Rough,
very difficult to do well
very rough.
unless you have like a massive production team and a massive budget, which I'm assuming Olin Rogers does not have.
No, I think he had like 2 writers and like a handful of animators to make this,
Yeah,
but it
that
looks
makes
really
sense.
nice. The synopsis is you follow Gary, who was a space cowboy that got arrested, and the way they arrested him was they put him on a ship and then just sent it out to space. So he's on the ship for 5 years as a prisoner, but he calls himself the captain. And then you have his pal Kevin, who's the world's most annoying robot that's there to make sure he doesn't commit suicide.
I have seen this.
And then he finds a partner, a cat person named Avocado, looking for his son Little Cado, and a little green sphere that he calls Mooncake. The Mooncake only says "Jugity." He just goes "Jugity."
Okay. So
Throughout the whole show.
it sounds like a combination of Rick and Morty and Futurama.
Yeah, and
It's
it's
kind of what I'm hearing.
It's a narrative adventure though, so it's not all one-offs. Also, David Tennant is one of the key voices.
No.
Yeah,
Are
he
you
plays the Lord
serious?
Commander, the main villain in the show, and it does not sound like him at all. But he's the main villain of the show, Lord Commander.
David Tennant is like one of the most exclusive actors. Like,
Yeah.
he is so hard to get to do anything. That's
yeah,
impressive.
he was in
That's impressive.
He was in Genlock for Rooster Teeth. That's also premiering on Adult Swim now. So that's fun.
Does he maintain his beautiful Scottish accent?
He does. In this one, they were like, "No, we need your Scottish accent."
course.
In the Final Space, though, he's an alien, so he's got like a weird voice like this. Yeah.
Still,
With the Scottish accent?
as long as it's
No, not with the Scottish accent.
oh,
I was hoping to like.
Yes, that's what I was
It's an
hoping.
alien and he's just got a
a
Scottish
Scottish
accent.
alien. That's what I was hoping.
Well, I mean, that throws in diversity, so.
It's
Yeah,
true.
there you go. Space diversity.
What would be the space equivalent of Scotland?
I don't know Scotland well enough to know this.
Probably Neptune. I bet.
Why?
I don't know.
Neptune, the Scotland of our solar
You
system.
heard it here first, folks. Neptune is the Scotland of our solar system.
Elon Musk is like, damn it.
Damn it, I was going to announce that on Friday.
But yeah, check it out. I highly suggest it. Look up the trailers on YouTube. Look up Olin Rogers on YouTube. Check out his store. His
Bonus
merch is
points
great.
if anyone knows where Olin Rogers first debuted, besides Max, because Max probably knows.
He also does comedy tours.
He
They're pretty funny.
actually debuted on an old YouTube channel called Balloon Shop, and I absolutely loved it. And it was like where we got the inspiration to do a lot of our own films when I was in like middle school.
Nice.
So,
Yeah,
and then he
Olin Rogers
split
is a
off.
cool
and
dude.
I just remember Hot Pepper. If nobody has seen it, look up Hot Pepper Balloon
it's
Shop
in
on YouTube.
flashbacks.
It's classic. It's great. It's classic.
It's an oldie.
In fact,
but
we
goodie.
could probably show like a short clip. Blake, insert short clip here.
clip.
It's hot.
How's that pepper?
Oh, this is like a local arsonist has decided lighting a fire in my throat.
All right. Well, which direction are we going? Max, you get to choose.
Why don't we go to you,
All right, Ray, hit us.
Ray, our newest geek in the Geekwave team.
Yeah. Yep. That's it.
Hit it, Ray.
I wanted to talk about the Fortnite World Cup and a little bit of the drama that's been going on with how the 16-year-old Berg, I believe is what he goes by, he has gotten so much like cyber attack because he was winning. Like within minutes of him being announced the winner, somebody hacked into his Twitter and sent out all this anti-girl rhetoric. And
Well, how much did he win? Do you remember?
It was
3 million.
It was three million.
It was-
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah, well, every year within the last 3 years, the owners were putting in $1 million, and just this like
Whoa.
the weekend before they even had the full tournament, they put in like 40,000 or something. They just kept throwing money into it, so it really helps them out because they've been losing a lot of revenue, especially since Ninja got bought out by
Right?
Mixer and
Oh, that's a whole other,
yeah.
a whole other thing we can talk about.
But
Right.
they've been losing a lot of revenue within the last year. I mean, they were down to like 58% within 5 months,
Wow.
or 5 months ago, I believe it was.
And who is this we're referring to? Is this Epic Games?
Yeah.
Really?
Interesting. I'm still reeling from the fact that a 16-year-old got cyber attacked. That's horrible.
Yeah.
I'm
and
He's 16 years old.
16-year-old has like 4,000 times more money than I'll ever have.
Yeah, he does have more money than I think I'll ever see in my lifetime.
I mean, imagine coming home and being like, "Hey, parents, I just made more money in like the last 5 hours than you've made in your entire lives."
I own the house now. I'm the parent. You're grounded.
The thing is, though, so I actually was talking to somebody about this recently, and I believe since he is technically a minor, the money cannot go into his name, so it actually goes to his parents to do what they want with it until he turns 18, and then they can decide to turn it over
Yeah,
to
they're
him or
like,
what.
we'll
So,
put it in
yeah.
your college fund, and I mean, always go to college.
Yes.
But then, well, they're like, we'll put it in your college fund. He's like, what? I can go to college like 800 times if I want to, Mom. Like, it's just so crazy that now you can play video games. And
Imagine
money.
his parents being just like super frivolous and like buying all this stuff for themselves, and then like he turns 18 and they're like, "Here's the $10.
Here's 20 yeah, here's 20 bucks.
Here you go. That's what's left."
We're gonna go ride all 6 of our yachts carrying the bigger yacht.
I just wonder if they were the parents that were like, you just need to get off these video games. They're bad. They're rotting your mind. You're addicted. And then he's like, 2 weeks later, he's like, hey,
Hands him a
just
$16
made
million
$3
check,
million.
whatever.
Yeah. Is
Well,
it really that bad for me now?
That's the thing. We're in a time where, I mean, I remember growing up, and it was just video games will rot your brain. Video
Yep.
games won't amount to anything.
You'll become a.
And deep
school
down in my
shooter.
mind, I was like, "You'll see."
You'll all see.
Well, the times are changing now that all these millennials and the generation before it
All
are
these
growing
children.
up. Well, they're growing up and they're teaching their children to play video games like
It's
they
true.
did.
It is true.
And so things are changing even that. And then I also want to add is that this is the most amount that anybody has ever won in esports. He beat out the
PGA,
Wimbledon.
the
Yeah.
Wimbledon.
Yeah.
Oh my
Tiger
god.
Woods.
By like
the
3
Wimbledon-
times, yeah.
Mhm.
It's crazy.
Oh my gosh, that's a lot of money.
It's a lot. It is like because I saw the comparison of how much this tournament won for what was his name?
All I know is he's Berg.
Yeah.
I don't remember
Yeah.
his full name.
He it's a long name too.
Mhm.
And I saw the comparison of like the closest like tournament. It was like the PGA like 2018 World Final or whatever, and it was like $1.5 million, and I was like, wow.
It's kind of a slap in the face.
It is
Like,
a slap in the face.
I've been practicing at my sport for like years, like 30 years. and I get half of what the 16-year-old gets.
Because like growing up, dude,
for
there
sitting
were
on his
so
ass and
many
playing
people
video
that
games
say,
for a couple hours.
There's no money in the video game industry. You know, why would you even go there? You're gonna make a game sell out, and that's it. But now it's like, bro, like, what about golf? Like professional golfers.
Golf is weird. I mean, golf doesn't even want to be golf.
But
like the whole point of the game is to play the least amount of it.
But golf, well, that's what I'm saying. It's $1.5 million for a tournament of golf. And now we have a tournament with esports, which was not really existent until like 4 years ago. And now it's even bigger than most of the other sports of its kind.
I mean,
I
they're
think it's-
adding it to the Olympics.
They really are?
Well, that's the last I heard. I don't know officially, but they're trying to get
Dude,
it.
we could be on the Olympics.
Let's be on the Olympics, Gavin.
So if, like, they had just that entire tournament, I believe within the last 2 days, the singles head-to-head, they had 2 million viewers through Twitch and YouTube alone.
Yeah.
Like, that.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you just think, you know, if this does go into the Olympics, you're gonna have all these like athletes that are super ripped and muscular, and then you're gonna have like gamers like us like
Walking down with Dorito chips.
grab my Mountain Dew,
Liter Mountain Dew.
grab my Doritos. Oh man.
Walking through the Olympic
That'll-
Village as they're doing pull-ups and like push-ups.
If that does
push-ups.
happen, I wonder like what games will like this committee decide are like
I pray it's not Fortnite but
are
it
worthy.
might.
What if they
Of
hire
esports.
like a development team to make a sports game that's like completely non-skin, so it's its own thing, but it like mimics the other games, the best parts of the other games, the competitive parts, but it's
Oh.
completely bland. It's like just
That kind of
Empty.
sounds like
I'm
Fortnite right
I'm
now.
I'm
I mean,
betting
Fortnite's
now.
mimicking Titanfall right now, and like shooting Shadow. That's
Are
not
they?
the word. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the side tangent here: Fortnite added mech robots that can be piloted now
Yep.
Yep. By two people.
by two people, similar to Titanfall. Hey, shots fired! That's the term. So
But back to what you were saying
Mhm.
earlier about the kid getting bullied. That is horrific. But honestly,
it's so mean.
it is that community. I don't want to be super mean. I mean, Call of Duty on Xbox back in 2005 was pretty bad. But the Fortnite community is just really, really toxic. Apex is pretty cool. I mean, I was playing a game of Rainbow Six earlier, and I had one bound around where I didn't clutch it, and so like I had 2 people messaging me like you know, you suck, you're bad, just you know, kill yourself. I'm like, oh, okay. I mean, but that's just how this online community works, and it sucks, but like we just kind of have to accept it. And I do feel bad for the 16-year-old getting hazed. So I do hope, you know, the person that hacked into his account, which is not cool. you
Well,
know,
there's
has
a
some
new
sort of punishment.
form of what they're doing, not just like hacking his account and like talking shit on him, but
Yeah.
they're also ganging up on him during play
Games.
sessions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
called
Oh yeah.
sniping something.
Oh,
sniping.
stream sniping. They're stream sniping him.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, those are always lame.
Yeah.
Stream snipers are always lame.
I mean,
Well-
there are ways to. I mean, Twitch has ways to remove it. I mean, a lot of the games have ways to try and remove it as much as possible. But there's just so many limitations. Like Dr. Disrespect, for an example.
Yeah.
He's been banned like 3 times. Fearless, who I actually really do enjoy, he's got like 8 different accounts, just because they continue. He gets marked for like bullying or reported and stuff. But it's just the online community, and it's,
Yeah.
Just be
Yeah.
nicer. God,
yeah.
please.
You know,
it's
the
games. Have fun.
the nice community is like Apex, which is like the Google Chrome of video games.
Super
and then-
Animal Royale.
And
then, yeah, Super Animal Royale.
RuneScape Classic.
And then you know you have Fortnite, which is like Internet Explorer. You know, kids
Cool.
are using it because they don't know what Chrome is. You know,
Yeah.
sorry, I had to say it, but yeah.
Well, I'm calling it now. Olympics 2020.
I don't think it'll
the
be that
esports
soon.
lineup is going to be Minecraft, Roblox,
Oh, Tetris
and
100.
Stardew Valley.
Star-
That's our lineup. That's our Olympics
How
20.
can you even play
20.
esports with Stardew Valley?
There is speedrunning competitions with Stardew Valley.
I did not know that.
They exist. It's wild.
If a game exists, there is a speed run of it.
Makes
Yeah.
sense.
So, Roblox speedruns, it's a thing. Anyway, Gavin, why don't you give us your 2 cents here?
Since we are talking about video games, a really fascinating and amazing trailer just dropped. I don't know if you guys saw the gameplay trailer for the new Modern Warfare Call of Duty.
I
Have
did
you,
not.
Max?
Nope. It was
Really?
I don't.
it was loosely gameplay, but anyway.
Yes, it was very cinematic for a gameplay trailer, but I want to bring to attention the fact that they're bringing back so many amazing things from the previous Call of Duties. It doesn't look as vertical gaming as like Infinite Warfare, Black Ops 4, where you have to like get on these really tall platforms. It looks like it's more rooted in like Modern Warfare 2 based. Did see a possible quick scoping. They're bringing back old mechanics.
They're bringing back a lot of the old kill streaks.
A lot of the ones that we all missed. They have the Pavlo. I don't know if you guys knew what that thing was, but if you ever got that out on the earlier Call of Duties, it certainly hurt a lot of people's feelings. They're bringing back the Juggernaut for 15 kills. The nuke. Everything.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Dude, I was in a game with my friend back in high school, and he got the nuke, and I didn't realize it was him. And then when he went to high school, no one believed him, and he ran to me. He's like, "You were in the game. You can prove I did it, can't you?" And I was just like, "Oh, that was you?" And he just like curled in the ball because I didn't realize it was him.
So yeah, they're bringing back all these amazing things, and I was genuinely impressed with their gameplay trailer. At first, when I saw some, I don't know if you've seen any of the gameplay, but I watched a bunch of it just because I was interested. And first, I wasn't really impressed, but then I started watching more, and it looks really balanced, really fun. I really praise the sun that they bring back quick scoping. I think it's a possibility. They're bringing back hybrid sights, and I do want to talk about hybrid sights for a second because they are one of the most useless mechanics and attachments in Call of Duty.
What's a hybrid sight?
Tell us, Gavin, please enlighten us.
The hybrid sight is a combination of two sights. It'll be like a red dot sight, which has like a one-time zoom.
You think those are useless?
Well, just listen, and then you can flip on a sight that gives it like 3 times.
Yeah. I use those all the time.
Yeah.
Those are the only ones that got me kills.
Yeah, Gavin.
But I only had it in Modern Warfare 3, my friend.
I know. That's the only game I got a lot of kills
But
in.
yeah, that's the thing, is they weren't even that practical because they used 2 weapon attachment slots.
Yeah.
A red dot sight and then a hybrid.
Yeah.
Why were you running that?
Because it worked.
How does it work?
I was getting long-range kills, and then someone pops in front of me, and I just zoom out, annihilate them, and then switch to the 1 dot, and then raid a building.
But anyways, so they're bringing back this really useless attachment. And the only thing that I really saw for potential to bring it back was just to add in further realism. Because it is something that they use in like real-life military and everything. And so it is really cool they're bringing that back. Even though it was bad, I did also use it just because I thought it was cool.
When that game comes out, I'm annihilating you with only that sight. I'm going to equip it as a melee weapon.
But, and then, yeah, there's just so many cool things that are happening in this new Call of Duty. And I hope it goes in the right direction.
It won't.
But I don't say that yet. Don't say that yet. Because I do believe this is Call of Duty's last stand. I think if they do not nail this one even remotely close to the bullseye, I think they're going to go out of business.
Here's what's going to
I'm with
happen.
both of you guys. I don't think it's his last stand, though. I think it's its goodbye letter.
You
Well,
think so?
Yeah.
Here's what I think is going to happen. They're going to make everybody sad and be like, this is our last game, and everyone's going to be like, ah! And then they're going to play it, and like everybody's going to play it because not only is it like going back to Modern Warfare, but it's also like the last Call of Duty game, and then they're going to just absolutely plague the thing with microtransactions and make billions of dollars, and then they're going to be like, just kidding, we made so much money thanks to the fans, and you guys were awesome, and we're actually making another Call of Duty game, and then
Call of Warfare 69.
it's going to be Call of Duty Advanced Warfare 2.
You're
and,
aliens
it's
fighting
just-
space wars.
I can just see it now. It just, you know that meme? That's kind of how I feel. I feel like they're gonna come out and it's just gonna be like just riddled with payments and microtransactions, and I'm just gonna be.
You don't think they've learned?
This is Activision. But
Yeah, I was about to say, it is
Well,
Activision.
I know it's Activision, but we have to have
They literally just drove a ground into the game. Sorry. They literally just drove a game into the ground in a matter of like 4 weeks.
You had to pay to get that sentence right,
Anthem.
didn't you?
I did. Yes, I had to pay to get that sent. Like,
They're at it again.
just
But you had to pay what?
no. It was a joke. It was a microtransactions joke. It went over your head. And they lit like
You didn't pay to get that joke.
yeah. You must pay $1.99
$2.99.
to understand this joke.
But
They companies like this don't learn. They just don't. If they were going to learn a lesson, they would have learned it by now. If they were going to learn a lesson, they would have learned this lesson from freaking Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Oh.
Yep.
we don't talk about that.
Ooh, that's some bad. Yeah,
But they
right.
haven't. They don't learn.
No,
they
I
don't.
know. And I just really hope it is an okay game, considering it might be their last Call of Duty. Because I was pretty excited about Black Ops 4. It was a pretty well-made Call of Duty. Everything was pretty balanced. Not really quick-scopable, but it was okay. And then I bought the season pass. No content. It was the worst investment I've ever made video game ever. $60 for 2 maps in a year. And it's just dumb. So if they do the exact same thing with this game, there's no doubt in my mind that they'll go on the ground. I don't know why they can't just go back to Modern Warfare 2.
Can we just get Transit on Black Ops 3 or 4, please? Zombies Transit, please? Because that's the only reason I play Call of Duty games is for the zombies. I just want Transit back. Please give me Transit.
So you were probably one of those people that bought like just the zombies version of.
We didn't
whichever
buy
one.
that one though because it didn't have any of the it was just the story maps and it didn't even have the maps we wanted.
That's
so
true. That's true.
we just got Black Ops 3 and then bought the maps for that.
One thing I did want to bring up in this new Call of Duty that they're doing as a new mechanic is there is a vehicle you can call in and play with in the map.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen that?
I have.
So
did
you
see
can
it.
call in a
Is it a
goddamn
Warhawk?
tank.
It's a tank.
Oh wow, what?
And it's
Whoa.
one person can drive and man the tank, and another person can gun on top. And this is on like a Call of Duty level map that you can have a vehicle.
Wow.
This is like I don't know if it's going to be good or bad depending on the map.
Yeah.
But Brogan,
Yeah.
what do you want to talk about?
So, San Diego Comic-Con happened, and a lot of things were announced.
Not really.
A lot. Yeah. I don't know what it is about San Diego Comic-Con, but everybody's like, let's announce all the things. And one of the biggest things that was announced was the Marvel Cinematic Universe Phase 4. And I saw the lineup, and I was like, what the hell am I looking at right here? I don't understand. There were like a handful of things that like I kind of recognized. We'll just have Blake. Yeah, go ahead and pull it up. Blake,
I'll
just
pull it up so I can see
slap a picture of the lineup for us up there.
Because I like these movies.
The
I
whatever,
might have been reading a thing that was totally not real. Thank you, Internet!
But I do
Keep
know,
talking.
I do know that the Doctor Strange movie is classified as horror, and that's raised eyebrow. Yeah, they're gonna make it into a horror.
See,
movie.
that's the whole thing. Like this whole announcement, as I was seeing it, like there were things that seemed interesting to me, but it didn't seem to have any like rhyme or reason. It was just like all over the place. Like the Marvel Cinematic Universe up to this point has kind of had like a roadmap. You know, they were following a path, and every once in a while they diverge a little bit to like show this character or these characters, and then they'd bring them in, and it all just kind of like culminated and followed this path. But now it's like what the heck is going on? Like you've got all these different characters all over the place doing whatever, like characters we've never heard of, and Muslim Blade and Female Thor, and just why what? Like it's all over the place. I don't know how I feel about it.
I did hear with this, so obviously the Fantastic Four are probably going to be merged into the MCU, but also Deadpool,
Well, yeah, they'd have to be.
Ryan
Fantastic Four was
Reynolds.
hinted at in the new Spider-Man.
What was that?
Fantastic Four was hinted at heavily in the new Spider-Man movie.
Really? How?
Yeah, there's a lot of Easter eggs, and a lot of the villains there like fit with one of the Sinister Six plot lines that involve the Fantastic Four.
Have they started doing the post-credit scenes again?
Yeah, they did it with Spider-Man.
Hinting at the next movie?
They did that with Avengers Endgame after the
after
thing.
the re-release.
Oh, and by the way,
Oh, gosh, that was awful.
That was one of I hated how that ended up winning, because I felt so cheap for them to take first place by re-releasing in theaters. In my opinion, I thought it was just so classless.
Yeah, I think it was kind of. Anyway, that's a whole different discussion. We're going way up.
I can't find the list.
Oh, Max. All right. Well, we'll have to find the official list, and Blake can put it up for us. But some of those don't sound familiar to me at all. But I know there's a bunch of like names that I've never heard. Shang-Chi is definitely one that was on there. New Spider-Man, new Captain Marvel, new Doctor Strange. I have not heard anything about
Falcon and Winter Soldier, apparently.
That one was in there. Yeah.
Okay, I think I found
Ninja
Phase 4.
Turtles.
Okay.
Teenage
We have the
Mutant Ninja
Eternals.
Turtles, new Power Rangers.
Oh yeah.
Oh, WandaVision. That's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
I think because this looks like it's from the con itself.
This is it.
This
okay.
is it. Okay.
So let's read this, shall I? Totally just grabbed your phone out.
That's
here.
fine.
I
No,
hope
you're
that's
good.
all right. All right. So yes, Black Widow,
Okay.
which we all saw coming. Falcon and Winter Soldier.
I'm here for that.
Eternals. I don't know what that is.
I think it's an X-Men thing.
Shang-Chi.
Song-Chi and the
That's how you-
7 Rings.
WandaVision, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. That was it. Loki, a Loki movie. Yeah.
I'm happy for it.
What If? It's literally just called What If.
Is Loki the
Hawkeye
movie,
and
or is
Thor.
it a TV show? I thought Loki was
Wait,
being
but
made
they're
into
supposed to
the
be
Marvel streaming service.
Oh, so
It
these
might
things
be.
named Disney might be
Oh,
that.
I think
So
you're right. I think
Hawkeye,
you're right.
Loki, WandaVision are all on the Disney streaming service.
Yeah, and I really hate that they're pushing the streaming service thing because I'm not gonna buy it at all.
I don't have money to buy another streaming service. No, wait!
That's a whole other tangent.
Falcon and Winter Soldier on the Disney one. No!
Yeah, that's a whole other tangent, but everybody and their Asian cat are doing their own streaming services these days. They're pulling The Office off of Netflix to put it on their own streaming service.
Really?
Yeah,
And
they are.
I am...
But Brogan, I
have
do
a side
feel with you.
tangent for you guys.
This list of movies and TV shows coming out does not seem to have any
There's nothing that
coverage.
really, like...
and there's nothing
catches
that,
my
yeah, there's
attention.
nothing that stood out. I mean, I like Spider-Man, so I'm probably gonna see the new Spider-Man movie.
I love Spider-Man.
The Academy.
I
is
like
what
Doctor
they call it?
Strange, so
Oh,
I'll probably see Doctor Strange.
Today's Spider-Man Day.
Today's
Today's
Spider-Man Day.
Yeah.
It is August 2nd as we're recording this, so it probably won't be Spider-Man Day when it comes out, but happy belated Spider-Man Day.
Gotta get to the
everyone.
comic book store now.
But yeah, so there's nothing in Phase 4 that I guess there's also no Iron Man movies coming out.
Spoilers!
But
Spoiler warning.
Yeah, there's just nothing that really seemed that fantastic. Because like you have these characters like
before.
Falcon and Winter Soldier, where there wasn't anything really like based off them. Like when Falcon was introduced, they have not touched on him at all.
No.
Especially before, Phase 3 and 2, where he played a role, especially in Endgame. So now that they're building his character, same thing for Black Widow. They're doing her origin story, even though she was one of the very first characters introduced in Phase 1. So it just feels so lackluster. Like, why would you, I don't want to see a Black Widow movie.
It's all about that green, baby. It's all about that green.
It's all
Keep it
about the
going.
salt,
I have a
baby.
side tangent for you guys. How do you feel about the Loki logo?
It gives me OCD. I don't like it.
Do you understand it? It took me forever for someone. It took me till I got the Tumblr for someone to point out.
Let me see it.
It's
again.
all stolen. The L is from the Hulk logo. The O is from the original Thor logo. The K is from another logo from a superhero movie, and the I is from another logo from another movie.
That
He
sounds-
stole everything, just
that
like how he
sounds
steals
mischievous.
things.
That's
And I'm like,
kinda-
hey, that's clever.
That's kinda classy.
Still bad design.
Yeah, I don't like it.
It's very, very weird.
But yeah, I agree with you. There's nothing I really am excited for in Phase 4, and I don't see anywhere that they're building to. At the end of the Spider-Man movie, I don't know if you guys saw that.
Oh,
I haven't
here's
seen
Blade.
it yet, so no spoiler.
Yeah, I'm not spoiling. They
Blade.
after the
Yeah,
post-credit
saw
scenes.
Blade.
Did you see it, Ray? There,
Not after the post-credit scenes
so-
that I remember.
the post-credits. It
Which
didn't do
movie?
anything for
Spider-Man.
the MCU. It was just further
I love
for Spider-Man, which is fine. But it felt. I certainly don't want to talk about the new Spider-Man movie in addition to this because
Batman kills Spider-Man.
I don't.
What?
I didn't really enjoy the new Spider-Man movie simply for reasons like it being the end piece for Endgame.
It feels just like a bunch of dead ends now. It's not really
I
culminating.
love the Spider-Man movie
Kind
because
of
it's more
like
like a
if
Spider-Man comic.
George
Well-
R. R. Martin actually tied up the end of his books. Be like
Yeah.
a
Oh,
lot of
yeah.
dead ends.
That
It
dude
would-
was a genius.
It would be like, yeah.
He got paid to watch his book, play test his book ending and find out what didn't work and then finish his books
Pretty much. Yeah.
in the good way.
If he ever does.
But I like Spider-Man.
Well, we can talk about that some other time because I have some.
Don't
very
hurt my boy.
feelings.
We'll have to
I
talk
love
about that.
I love Spider-Man.
Next
August.
week.
In August.
Time.
Next month.
Next whole year. Well, thank you so much for watching. We talked a lot about movies, television, video games, and video game culture, which was a fun one to talk about. Be sure to hit that like, comment, and subscribe. All those are buttons that you can press and do.
You know, all the cliches.
All of the cliches. Hit that bell icon, I think, if we have it, hopefully. Yeah. And we'll catch you guys next week.
Month.
No,
We will catch you next week on Geek Out. Just next month for this segment.
whenever. We'll see you next time.
Geek out.
Geek out.
Oh.
We forgot to
yeah,
tell
we
them.
forgot. We're so used to that. we
Every
totally forgot to
time
tell it.
someone new comes on, we forget the telephone.